So here we go. This is a big one. Two teams, well, one of which will be delighted to be there, one which will be disappointed, of course. South Africa disappointed. They've been in the plate final here for the last 3 years. They were runners-up to Fiji last year. They were runners-up the year before to Australia, and they won the plate back here in 2009. But for Tonga, well, it's great. There's the meetings between them, 9 in all. Tonga have won twice, and the last time was here in Wellington in February 2008, 14-10. Might be close again because they're a very physical side. As you can see, the lineup here, well, the top two men are the ones of real experience, Bayan Pateki and Jack Ram. They've got 4 new men in their squad, and one of them there is 10 and 11, so watch out for those numbers. South Africa, cornerstone Frankie Horn. New recruit Stephan Diepenaar, who's earned his start line. Kyle Brown, Paul Delport, sparkling Cecil Africa. Who will be the winner? Here comes Kyle Brown. And I guess what South Africa are going to receive is a very powerful physical assault, because Tonga are, well, keen at the contact.
But look at this, Nigel. Nice smiles from the Tongan players as they commune together for the last time before the kickoff. They are so pleased to be here. But as you suggested, then South Africans will have real edge, perhaps, of disappointment at being at this level in the finals. They always expect to win and go on. Now, this is a key man here, Seteki Tuipulotu. He used to be a beautiful, big Tongan fullback in the 15s game in the Rugby World Cup, and he's guided this Tongan team, the new coach, to this wonderful situation for them in the final.
So here we go, 7 minutes each way. Matt O'Brien, the referee, and Cecil Africa gets it underway. Is he going to be the magician who has sparkled so wonderfully the last 2 years? The man who is the IRB Sevens Player of the Year of last season. Kyle Brown there. Very good tournament he's had. Good leader, disciplined and friendly with it. Not so friendly on the field, but who is Paul Delport?
Red step, everybody. Thank you.
He's been a long-time servant in the Sevens for South Africa, 8 years. Neatly taken. This is the new man, Stephan Diepenaar, now with Mark Richards. Another relative newcomer. But look at the turnover ball. Is it counter-rucking? Well, they didn't release. Okay. So Delport takes it quickly.
Advantage green, not 10.
Again, we've got heavy rain. Well, it's sort of a heavy drizzle, really.
Advantage.
Which has been spoiled the day a bit, but hasn't sent the crowds home, that's for sure.
Advantage 8, entry.
Entry sideways. Quickly taken.
Advantage
Delport
green,
again.
not 10.
The break now with Hendricks on the drive. 5 metres out.
Wait, please.
Repeated infringements from Tonga.
Captain,
don't want a yellow card, do we?
I have no number. Your team must retreat 10 on penalties. If I get a number,
10 years
they will
back.
go to the bin.
10 years
Thank
back.
you.
10 metres back.
Time on.
He's the instrumental man in their side, isn't he, Pateki?
He sure is, and he's produced a lot of points for the team today. And here's the crafty Delport. He also has had an incredible amount of time on the field for South Africa this season.
The breakthrough, Frankie Horn. That was so simple. Well, when he wasn't there, my goodness, they missed him. Frankie Horn. 31 tries. And look at that.
Cecil Africa, who made the little pass, will have the shot for goal. And so South Africa away to 7-0. But in right off the Tongans.
It was the angle that he ran, wasn't it? And you mentioned the conditions down here, Nigel, very tricky. But have a look at this. Coming in between the two players there, that was the real key. He ran at the gap, not the man. And really the ill-discipline of the Tongan side in the first 2 minutes is the reason why they're behind by 7.
Which has not been the weakness earlier in this tournament for them, has it? But that was poor defence. They'll know it.
More!
Well, this is where their upper body strength and thigh strength pays dividends. Look at that, driving South Africa back.
But held up by the South Africans, so they'll get the put in.
On my call straight away,
There's
please.
Diepenaar. 24-year-old who's come out of the Blue Bulls. First tournament for him. Just recently signed a 2-year contract.
Crouch! Touch!
And he's in this plate final lineup.
Engage!
On the near side is Halafihi. This is Cecil Africa on the short side. Oh, no one can touch him. The acceleration. It's a killer.
Look at that rain coming down now. It's really tough out there. The final's still to come. But Cecil Africa, it didn't start in a couple of games today. It looked like they might have just been nursing him through to the critical games at the end of the tournament. You're right. Nigel ran a wide angle and just got into the clear. No one near him.
Because he was a man that South Africa missed last year because earlier in the season in George he broke his cheekbone and missed out in Wellington. Well, can't do without a man of this talent. And incidentally, anyone listening, if you want to hear about his own thoughts about sevens and things, he's a tweeter. And you can find it on the IRB Sevens website. A delightful young man, and what a talent. So modest with it. And
he also, of course, has just been appointed a few weeks back the IRB's Keep Clean Ambassador for Rugby Sevens. He follows Uali Mai and Humphrey Kayangi as the anti-doping ambassador for Sevens Rugby. Trying to keep the game clean.
Great example. 12-0 though, a great start by South Africa.
Advantage green!
Throwing down the gauntlet to Tonga here in a big way. Tonga scarce any possession and they've lost it again.
Over.
And this time with Kyle Brown setting it up wide.
Advantage.
Delport looks for the half break. And
No
is held
advantage,
up.
first infringement, tackle not rolling.
First infringement against Tonga. Things aren't not going well at the moment for them. Africa, not his best pass. Pirouetting is Dipena, losing it now. A chance for at least a touch of possession for Tonga.
It's a bit like a skating rink as the rain comes down.
That's
there, getting very, very slippy. And it's a bit of a disappointment, but that's equal for both teams. And you'll see the ball here tumble out of the hand of Dipena.
He's all right.
The balls are too sophisticated these days. Wonderful surfaces, but I don't think they're as easy to hold when they're wet as the old ones, the earlier ones.
Well, it's the summertime in New Zealand. You wouldn't believe it, but it is with the weather like this, which means the ground basically underneath the lush top is hard, so that makes it very slippery.
Engage.
Lovely stadium, great surface, really fantastic. A penalty chance now with Tonga. They've got to run it from their own goal line. Pateki can't wait to get the ball in hand. Kilioni and Halafihi. Whoops, says Pateki. He recovered it cleverly, but no forward momentum here. All very static, but they're being closed down so quickly by South Africa. Kyle Brown clings to the man, Daniel Kilioni.
Offside. Lost forward.
He's the guy that says his favourite player is William Ryder. Remember him, Nigel? We all remember.
Forget?
What a wonderful player he was for the Fijians. And so he admires him greatly, tries to play it a bit like him, obviously.
You can see the rain now, and Paul Delport there.
Come on, please, Green.
Got something in his eye, I think.
Green.
Yeah, he's...
Time off.
It could be bits of grass, it could be something, or is it in his mouth, maybe? I'm not sure. No, it's his eye. Paul Delport, well, he's a tremendous guy who came back from troubled times.
You all right, mate?
And
it's a bang on the cheekbone, this one, Nigel.
Oh, gosh, it is, yes.
Oh,
wow. Oh, and that hurts. Playing now in his 22nd tournament. Part of the World Cup squad in 2009. Was a wonderfully successful captain of the South African under-19s and under-21s when they won both those tournaments. But with his leadership, this is cruel.
It's very sad, but they're playing it safe here. He's obviously not right, not comfortable. I think he wants to play in there, insisting that he goes to the side. I think
Hugh Everson is very sensible here. He says, no, fella, injury is more important. Your health is more important.
And Branko de Pree, the new player coming on too, fellas.
Well, not a bad replacement,
exactly.
Willie?
Yeah, I was going to say, class with class. And this is where it actually happened there. I think it's the collision area.
Yeah. Quite accidental, as you can see. Physical game is rugby. It's bad luck, but anyway, Branko de Pree will not lessen their strength at all. Oh, wonderful running this time with Kyle Brown. Well, he slipped through, didn't he, without anyone really getting hold of him at all. And maybe Tonga have had their day. They've done so well. Yesterday they were unbeaten. Today they beat France, and France are a better outfit than for many a day.
So Dupree just onto the field. In the players outside him and around him know all the combinations. He's been such a consistent part of the team. And if you think about guys who've got a bang in the cheek, this guy Brown also has a bit of a shiner as well. It's been a tough couple of days. The conversion is over. It's 17-0.
And we add now the conversion, which is good. 19-0 at the break, and South Africa totally in control. Together.
And let's remember how well they played in that final in Port Elizabeth. You were there, Nigel called it for us. What a thriller it was against New Zealand. And they very sensibly put it behind them and called it a plus performance, even though they lost. Second half kicks off here.
So a long way back for Tonga if they're going to get into this contest. Yeah, it was one of the great finals, reminding me of that in Port Elizabeth. 31-26. New Zealand back on top. And are they going to be back on top? We've got them in the final again against Fiji coming up. And don't forget the third and fourth playoff this season. That's going to come with Samoa against England. Good running, but eventually well felled by Mark Richards. But it's all about possession, this game, and this is dominant. Oh, Franco Dupree, well stopped there in the tackle of Kalepi Halapihi. He takes a lot of stopping, doesn't he? Frankie Horn.
Straight down. Prevented the contest.
Was using the ball while he was still on the deck. Didn't roll away. Hard graft this. Made worse, really, by the heavy drizzle that's actually lying on a lot of the spectators too now. Set back by Tukuapu. Chance perhaps to get away here. Fifita. Big tackle, great tackle by Hendricks. One of the new boys, only his second tournament.
Entry.
Side entry. Penalised. Bear. Not an easy ball to play with. This is Poteki then. Offloads it well. Tukuapu takes it up to the Blitzbokker 22. Well, an early score you never know, could turn the tide. They need one urgently. Poteki thinks about the short side, sets it to Jack Ram, his long partner of Sevens rugby in Tongan shirts.
Maul!
There's the strength again, driving in South Africa, but they still have the ball.
They held him up.
Got to see the brilliance of Frankie Horn. There's more changes coming in on that occasion, Keith. Frankie Horn knew that if he held the player up, he was going to get the turnover.
And here we see Boom Prinsloo coming on for South Africa, and Kalifi Latu for Tonga. It's a big name in sport and has been for years, the Latu name in Tongan sport, right across the board.
I'll tell you what's interesting in a way when you sort of compare the two. South Africa's wonderful player, Frankie Horn. He's played more tournaments than the entire Tongan team. and you know, so one's always got to bear that in mind a bit. Cecil Africa. And then the running, tremendous work here. Cornel Hendricks was collared in the end and just touched into touch.
Ball's been touched.
Kalifi Latu getting across in good defence here. Sprinting hard, looks good. There's Hendricks. Brave, here's the defence coming in.
Need something urgently now. Peleti Fifita, Blue Sharks, the throw in, and they're wasting seconds here. They could just get on with the game. Oh, in fact, it's a replacement
Red 8,
for
please.
South Africa.
Red 8.
Oh, and also going to be for Tonga. Fifita is being replaced.
Oncoming is
he can't throw it in.
Thomas Palu, Wellington-based, late inclusion into the team after an injury to a teammate, Wesley College rather.
Do you think Tonga need you now, Willie?
No, then they'd lose by 100.
Willie, I say, the former Tongan international Thomas Palu played on this ground for Tonga in the 15s World Cup, and they had some great moments. Beat France here. France made the World Cup final.
It made France, really, that did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pateki again, trying to keep it alive. Thomas Palu into the hands of Vea. Now then, is he getting through the gap? No, the tackle's good once more, taken by Boom Prinsloo.
No advantage.
Running circles is Branko de Prier. Remember him when he first came to the fore in the South African under-20s side. And he, like Cecil Africa, really made their name in those earlier days. Not that he's old, he's only 21, Branko.
Crouch. Touch.
Very disciplined
Pause.
team,
Engage.
very pleasant to meet with. And exciting. This is not their perfect conditions though, is it? Dry ball is better for them, I'm sure. But they're on top still now. Covering back is Kilioni. Took it well. Immediately Mark Richards on him. Got a release.
Ruck formed, hands used.
Used the hand. And 10 ball thrown
Cynical
away,
play.
an extra 10 metres. Oh, no. Even worse. Trouble for
Threw it
Tonga.
away.
He threw the ball away,
Momentum
and
scenario.
he looks heartbroken
No.
here. That's
Cynical
against Thomas
play,
Palu.
momentum.
He's the only overseas player in this Tongan side. He actually is based here in Wellington,
Goal
but
line,
everyone
please.
else is based in Tonga itself.
And I think that's a good thing. They could really cobble together a team from Australia, New Zealand, UK. There's professional Tongan players all over the world, but they're starting at this level, at the home level. And Thomas Palu, yes, the only outsider, if you like, even though it's been played here in New Zealand. And he's a Kiwi-based player.
They're all homeboys now then.
Knock on each way.
He's him out for 2 minutes. There he is. 25-year-old and his first tournament.
His brother was, of course, a Tongan sevens player and also 15s at the Rugby World Cup. David Palu.
Time running out, 1:20 seconds to go, that's all. And
Touch.
it's going to be South Africa's
Engage.
plate. Well, as I said, they've missed the final of the plate, the last two.
Early disengage.
They were runners-up. So at least they will get the crowning of that this time. Tonga, well, they deserve, after all their efforts, something on the board. But it's thrown forward and into the hands of Africa. Spends it wide to Branko de Prier. Then the turn. Going for the big intercept there was Tukuapu. Didn't come off. 21-year-old Willie.
Yeah, I was going to say the only positive, Nigel, is that they haven't allowed South Africa to score any points in the second half. They can take anything from this.
Come on, please.
So South Africa, who had a really tough encounter from one of the upcoming nations, Canada, in the plate semi-final. South Africa just squeaked home 21-19. They beat England in the pool, but then fell to Fiji. There you go. Guess who? Africa for Africa.
And that's a classic example of the brotherhood there. They are embracing each other, the two lookalikes, the two quick-alikes. And just a change of tactic, and the little push through by Branko de Prier was almost like Cecil here knew it was going to happen, and here's a guy on the ground doing a bit of a T-bow, and there's the little kick. Africa knew it was coming, so he set off and is sprinting at his maximum speed when the kick came, and got the try as a result.
Convincing performance indeed by South Africa, which will, I hope, will make Paul True feel a little bit less disappointed than he was with the defeat in the Cup quarter-final against Fiji. Fiji going through to the final, of course. They're, well, one of the great stars to follow, and for any young player, well, try and follow his footsteps. Cecil Africa, just 23, and a joy to watch. Sadly, the weather was not the kindest, and Tonga just didn't get much of the ball. 26-0, the final score.
Well, for the South Africans, some time to reflect. They haven't won here in Wellington for 10 years. And, well, they have a final here, but it's at one of the lesser levels. So they march on, though, to the next tournament in Las Vegas, Nevada next week, where they won the tournament last year. So they'll be optimistic about their hopes of repeating in the USA.
And odds on it'll be a dry ball.
You can bet your boots up there.
Interesting, really, because, you know, they looked good yesterday, didn't they? And it was a dry ball yesterday. Well done, Tonga.
Stefan, congratulations joining the Sevens scene. How have you found it?
Oh, no, it's very nice. I'm loving the Sevens scene, and I'm glad to be on the pitch.
Bit different to Super Rugby. What about the fitness? What's the big change between playing Super Rugby and Sevens?
Oh, there's a big change. In Super Rugby, there's a lot more guys on the pitch, so sometimes you can hide a bit in the ruck, but in Sevens there's only 7 people, so you have to work your ass off.
I know that you probably wanted the cup, but there is some consolation in winning the plate. What do you take from this heading into Las Vegas next week?
Oh, we built on a structure. Like in Fiji, the things didn't go to us that we planned to, but we're taking 5 points, and we must be happy about it.
And a good final result there against Tonga. Did you always think they were going to be as physical as they were?
Yeah, we knew they're going to be physical. Yeah, so we trained. We had that coming.
Well, congratulations on your first tournament, and go and enjoy the moment.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
There's a happy fella, isn't he? And I like this descriptions of things. Stephen Dippenaar, 24-year-old, and his debut appearance brings South Africa and himself a medal and the plate.
Coming to the presentation here, and on the presentation dais will be a familiar figure to New Zealand and South African rugby. And there he is. He's a fake moustache on the great
it's a real
Williams.
one. BG, President of New Zealand Rugby Union. Lovely. He's in the mood. Runners-up medal for Tonga, and the medal is being presented by Noel McNamara, who is the CEO of HSBC New Zealand, and of course the HSBC Sevens World Series and its initiation, but it's actually the 13th year that the IRB have had this ever-expanding Sevens Series. As well, the new sponsors of the New Zealand Sevens, Hertz and Mark Wrighton up there, and the cricketer I think should be somewhere there. You'll recognise him, John Morrison.
Test cricketer, yep. Mystery Morrison, very popular here in Wellington.
Yeah, that is
Mark Wrighton.
It is Mark Wrighton, yes. Well, I think Hertz have been very pleased with what they're associated with, and he's certainly good seeing a long chat with him, and he's very keen on his rugby, so that helps, doesn't it?
Scrum half in his young days in the club rugby in Canterbury.
He was joking. He was a prop.
He was a scrum half, he told me. Scrum half to Lynn Davis, the All Black.
I thought he was joking when he told me that. Being very disrespectful, am I? No, can't have been. Perhaps he was. He'll probably send me a rude email now.
People change, Nigel. People change.
Not that much, do they? I mean, BG still looks like a winger.
A fantastic time he's had as the president of New Zealand Rugby. He was there, of course, at the presentations at the end of the Rugby World Cup.
Who won that?
We remember Tim Mickelson, the New Zealand player, says his favourite player of all time is Stephen Donald. And why not?
I think he's one of the world's most popular players in New Zealand now, isn't he? It's amazing, that little story, isn't it? But of course, if they win here, that would be a wonderful double, won't it? World Cup, and then following up with the Hertz Sevens, New Zealand International Sevens here at Wellington. So there you are, a happy bunch of men. At least the consolation is a big one. The plate, final won by South Africa. But don't go away, we've got more things to happen, and of course the very next game will be the third and fourth playoff. Two tired teams maybe, but they've got to fight it out for the points in the overall championship. It'll be England who actually went to extra time with New Zealand against Samoa. And of course the final to follow that will be New Zealand versus Fiji.